we've got strange bedfellow tag team champions on Raw. We've got more blue-haired maniacs running around. We've got the Fiend attacking royalty and a whole lot more. Let's talk about it right now on your live Copious review.
Here's your winner and the
Might be my arrogance, but ain't nobody stopping me. That's how I go when you pay for them shows and you study that pimp biology.
Gone, and here we are once again with the power of the warrior running through our veins. Oh man, there were times tonight when Raw kind of lost me for a few minutes, just for moments, where I kind of tuned out. But man, they were quick to bring me right back in. That was the key of the whole night. It was just kind of tied together. It worked. It was an interesting way that they brought the whole show together tonight. We're going to talk about a lot of it, but I want to say before we get into anything else, obviously the big elephant in the room, the tag team championship changing friggin' hands. WWE kind of changing directions, giving a lot more attention to the tag team division. Obviously, this whole thing with the club is a big storyline right now. And this is kind of a cyclical thing. And we get, once again, a strange bedfellows tag team champions. We have, the rivals that are now champions. The whole situation, I absolutely love it. Before we get too far into it, let's give some love where love is always due. And that is Fake Ass Twat for once again providing the wonderful graphics and super sexy thumbnail that we have tonight. Granted, it's from last week's shot of Sasha Banks on Becky Lynch, but holy God, does it sex me up? And I thank you, Fake Ass Twat. Thank you so much. And the entire Copious Wrestling squad that keeps me up to date on all the things happening. Also, we can give some big love to Ginger Heat, Toxic Dome, Sarah Small, all you guys for hanging out with us right now. P-Gaze, I see you, baby. How you doing? Good to have you guys here. Hopefully you enjoyed Monday Night Raw tonight. Didn't hate it at all. I really, it's once again, you're seeing just differences. Nothing major. It doesn't always have to be major. And even there was some major with the attack on Jerry, which we're going to get into. Don't worry, we're not going to gloss over anything. And then with obviously the tag team championship change, because it was a continuous story throughout the night. We're going to get into it. I really, really did enjoy it. By the way, we have Discord open. We're going to take calls as soon as we're done. I'm trying to keep my voice down, so hopefully everything can be heard quite well. I don't want to get in trouble with my neighbors or anything, so I want to keep these Raw reviews coming as much as humanly possible, but I don't want to piss my neighbors off either. So we're going to take some calls if you want to get on Discord once we get through the review. Let's get right into it, man, because a lot happened tonight. Dolph Ziggler, Roman Reigns kicking the entire thing off. I loved it, man. I loved everything about it. Dolph Ziggler he's in an interesting spot right now. There's a lot of rumors, nothing that got substantiated. I hate the dirt sheets. I think they're fucking awful. They're the worst. I believe they're just kind of throwing darts at the board and making shit up. Last week, there was a big story about Dolph Ziggler and Vince McMahon, broken handshake agreement. Vince isn't going to let him out of his thing. I am not seeing that. I'm not seeing that out of Dolph at all. I'm really not. Dolph is playing ball like he always does, and he's doing a fantastic job. So if he is playing this out until he's able to get released, he is giving himself a lot of value, because I got to be honest, I know he's losing still. I know it's still kind of the same iteration that we've seen of Dolph in the past, but this is my favorite so far. It really is. I'm really digging. I don't know what it is. If it's just that extra grittiness. I don't know if it's just that extra assholishness. I don't give a fuck. I don't know what it is. The delusion. There's just something about it I really, really like right now. And I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. Did you know something about the Street Profits? A couple of things about the Street Profits, and we'll get into the Street Profits when we get to that part in the show. But yeah, a couple of things about them. I noticed one, Angelo Dawkins was not on the same level as Ford tonight. Not speaking at all. I don't know if Dawkins was hitting a sticky icky. Not that I'm going to blame him if he did, but Jesus H. Christ, Ford was amazing, and really Dawkins was not. We'll see where that goes. We'll get back in that in just a minute. And yes, no NXT belts because they're not the champions anymore. All right. Let's do it. PK, enjoyed it. I wasn't bored. As a newcomer getting back into the wrestling 3-hour shows, it was a weird transition, but I'm getting used to it. And that's a really good sign because the 3-hour thing is something that everybody usually complains about. So I'm with you. The 3 hours are flowing. I'm not complaining. You know what I mean? If it's moving in a good pace, I'm not worried about it. It's good times for all. It's good times for all. Dave has nice legs. Yes, I do. Sexy legs. You have no idea. Actually, that's the best part of my whole body. No fucking shit. If you saw my legs, you'd be like, holy God, that's not a guy who's as big as you are. I got sexy legs, son. Anyway, Dolph Ziggler, love what he's doing. I love how he's getting beat up. And really, let's give a little bit of credit to Roman Reigns and Dolph Ziggler here for opening Raw with a really good match. I like Dolph sucker punching people. I'm just really digging it. I thought there was nothing wrong with it. Really good way to start Raw. And here's another big thing. Even with the promo to begin the show, it really wasn't a promo to begin the show. It got right into it. Dolph just kind of suckered him in. Love that. No fucking authority figures needed. We didn't have any authority figures whatsoever. No one's guiding the ship, and everything's smooth sailing. SmackDown with Shane, little bit different. But again, we'll get into that. I'm trying to take a look at everything in the chat and all that stuff. Davey called about Rey Mysterio shoehorning his son. Yeah, I know. My God. I know. Familia. Never forget. It's always about Familia. Mark Parrish, good show, except for the decision to book Rollins and Brennaman. Not to sidebar the whole show too much, but I want to know why you think that. I think it was a pretty damn good decision. Look, it's not going to be a long run. There's no reason to get upset about it because this is just a cool little storyline that we don't see as much now as we used to back in the day. The odd bedfellows tag team champion storyline is as old as time. They're a lot of fun. They're something that harkens back to old timey wrestling, and I really dig it. And the added extra with Rollins already being the world champion and then going against an incredibly powerful faction in the club with their own champion and AJ Styles as the U.S. champion. This just allows a lot of storytelling, maybe some hot potato action. I love that Braun had a U.S. title match earlier in the night and then comes out with the tag team titles. I think it's really creative writing. I think it's really smart. It's a little bit different, swerving, not giving you a lot of ability to know where everything's going. And I like that. It's something that we're missing from wrestling right now, and WWE seems to be getting in on it. And not only that, let's give them a little bit of credit for putting a little bit more into the tag team division. And they're doing it without some really heavy hitter tag teams that really made their marks down in NXT, most notably AOP and the Viking Raiders. But, we can't expect them to get everything, right? But God, do we wish they would, because they got a lot of talent they can bring in. But I just like the emphasis on the division. Now, like I said, I don't think this is going to be a long run. I think they're going to be giving those titles back. This could be a house show thing. If maybe not this upcoming week, but maybe the week after, I could see a house show. Because this doesn't need to go to a pay-per-view. We don't need to get another match. It's not going to be like some amazing match. So why continue on with it? Doesn't really bother me. This is the third time that Rollins had 2 belts at once. I don't have a problem with it, Gore. I really don't. Heading into a pay-per-view in which every title is marked as being on the line, it doesn't make sense to have the world champ have the tag team belt too. If he loses it before the show, it does, which there's no reason why they can't. It's not coming up this week, is it? And even if it is, they can lose it at a house show. And still, why not pull double duty with Rollins? Like I'm saying, there's a whole lot of story that they could tell here. There's a lot of things that they could do. And I like that. Again, it's a cool thing to go and have these type of options. You could take the belt away in a really interesting way. You could have Braun fuck Rollins. You could have Rollins fuck Braun. You could have somebody coming in and taking out Braun or Rollins. There's just so many things that you could do. I'm not bitching about it. I like where it's going. So I ain't bitching. No, thank you. Fake, you should paint the walls a different color. The yellow is kind of ugly. What the fuck? What the hell are you talking about, SA? All right, I suppose, Dave. But the thing is, I'd rather they start the build to all the title matches now. God, man. They might be, is the point. If it's an interwoven storyline that's about a faction that is taking all the belts, I don't know what you're not understanding about that, Mark. I gotta be honest. They are, but it's just not what you want. You want classic tag team division. You want the tag team division separate from the other things so they can have all kinds of classic tag team matchups. That's fine. But I don't think you always need to. And something with Clash of Champions where you don't have a de facto good challenger for Seth, which I don't think Braun is. This is why they're doing this. They're trying to bring something out of Braun so he's a more formidable champion or champion contender to Seth down the line. I just think that just relax, let it play out. Let it play out. It's 2 versus 4. Well, it's 2 versus 3, but you know, whatever. I don't know who the 4th member of the club is, but hey, it's all good. All right. Well, let's continue on, hell. So did we go right to the Becky Lynch promo? The Becky Lynch promo. Interesting promo from Becky Lynch. Really forceful promo, man. I liked what she did tonight. But the makeup. Did anyone else notice the makeup? It looked like she had facial burns or something. When they panned in and she went to a certain angle, she almost fucking looked like Freddy goddamn Krueger. It was terrifying. It was disconcerting. It freaked me out. Jesus H. Christ. I didn't know what to do with that. It really freaked me the hell out. Mark Fraser, oh my God, I'm tripping. I love you, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I love you. Marky Mark and the Funky Cunts. I love it. Oh, well, there we go. There's our demonetization for the night. That's good. That's good. At least we get it out of the way. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, tweet out the stream. Let everybody know that we are live. That we're alive. She has a bad sunburn. Is that what it is? She got boinked up? Good. Yeah, well, so did Freddy Krueger. the fire is a form of sun. Yeah. All right. So after that, I love the promo, by the way. Becky really did kill it. She's pulling back a little bit more. And I just really like where she's going. It's working for me. Okay, let's talk about something that I think is a tad controversial for me, and maybe I'm just a big Mick bitch. I don't know. Jerry Lawler goes to the ring for the King's Court, which I found odd in the first place. I found very, very strange. I didn't understand why we're doing the King's Court stuff again. I really don't see it being necessary, but hey, that's the route they want to go. More power to them. Peace in the Middle East. I don't give a fuck. But he goes out there and he starts rambling, and he seemed odd. He seemed honestly scared to me. He seemed like something was coming, or I thought maybe he was laboring. I thought that maybe he was like going to have another heart attack or something. I don't like seeing Jerry in the ring. And I know my friend, my buddy, Dustin Starr, who is a professional wrestler in the Memphis circuit, has wrestled Jerry Lawler since his heart attack. I still just don't like seeing Jerry in the ring. It freaks me out. It just does, man. There's been times in comedy. There's been times in performing arts. There's been times on television where people have died. And people thought it was part of the act. There was a comedian. I can't remember off the top of my head. I just saw it in a documentary. There was a famous comedian who, it was a roast or it was a retirement thing. And he keeled over. It was part of his act. He was a physical comedy guy. He keeled over. He fell back, and he fucking died right on stage, and people were laughing. You know what I mean? That terrifies me that something like that could happen with Jerry Lawler. If it happened on TV, it's going to really hurt WWE. I don't understand, with all the risk management that they have, why they would have Jerry Lawler in there. And then at the same time, they go and have him do this rambling, bumbling promo and then cut the best promo part that he's ever cut. When that light started to go out and Jerry Lawler brought out whatever blackness he has deep down in his soul, was like, fuck this, I know what's going on. Peace out, bitches. It was great. It was classic black man reaction to a horror scene from a white fucking Memphis man. And I thought it was hilarious. And Bray still got him. They put Jerry and that fucking old-ass, artery-clogged-up heart through a horror movie scene with The Fiend, and The Fiend hit him with that mandible claw. It just scared me, man, and that's exactly the point of what it's supposed to do. But it does worry me when they use Jerry in this way. It kind of scares me. But still, yeah, I'm sure he's fine, and everyone's going to say that it's fine. I know, I understand. I know. And the mandible claw is kind of, you still have someone's nasty ass fingers in your mouth and you're laying on that goddamn grate and all that shit. It's still going to bring up your heart rate, dude. This guy had a massive heart attack, dude. I don't know. Anyway, let's give some love to Bray Wyatt once again. And also playing the social media game to a T. Twat broke it to me. I retweeted it because I thought it was absolutely brilliant earlier. like I said, there's been a lot of dirt sheet bullshit going on. Everyone seems to be really shitting on WWE. A lot of anti-WWE dirt sheet bullshit that's been thrown out at the moment. It's really annoying, too. And one of them was WWE to drastically tone down Bray Wyatt. To which Bray Wyatt retweeted after he did what he did to Jerry Lawler. And if I was better at my job, I'd have the tweet ready for you guys, but I'm awful. So, hey, gonna have to just take my word for it here. Go check my Twitter timeline. That Bray goes and says, whoever your sources are, fire them, essentially. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. Loved it. Everybody is joining in. If you're just stopping by, nice to see you. Good to have you here. Hopefully you enjoyed Raw. If you have questions, post them in the chat. If you want to talk to me after the end of the review, get your ass into the Discord, and I'll take all your questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, quotes, likes, loves, and whatever else you might have, mother truckers. But let's get back to the review. Alrighty, Roo. So the whole thing was just brilliantly done with Lawler tonight. I loved his reaction. I just loved it. I love what Bray's doing. He's really going straight up. And then things get interesting for me. Vic Joseph joins the announce team. And I, at times tonight, tuned out of the ring work because I started noticing something very quick. Vic is incredibly good at his job. If you didn't already know this, he's really good at his job. He's incredibly talented. He really, really is. He's been doing good down there at 205. He just calls a really solid match. He kind of has this great pacing that's somewhere between Michael Cole and Mauro Ranallo. You know what I mean? He's somewhere in between that, where he's got enough energy to make it feel like a bigger event, but he doesn't go to the goofy. And I really appreciate that from him. But what I found so fucking interesting was that both Vic and Michael Cole were fighting for the play-by-play rights. If you go back and listen to it, they were going the fuck after each other. It was incredible. It's just like Vic was just calling these matches, and before Jerry got out, that was what Michael Cole does. That's what he does. He's the play-by-play guy, and other people are color. Michael Cole, it felt at times that there were some awkward silences, like Mike, especially at the beginning, that Cole may have been a little perturbed, I thought. But I'm going to give it to Michael Cole. He downshifted and let the kid shine, and shine he did. Vic did a great job tonight. I think this is the future. I think Vic is the absolute future of Monday Night Raw, and if WWE doesn't pull the trigger sooner rather than later, they're doing a big disservice. And look, I don't want to shit on Homeboy on SmackDown, but he needs to go right now. Vic needs to come up to the big show because, we don't know how long he had to prepare for this gig tonight, and he crushed it. He crushed it in a really weird, awkward role because he was coming in to fill the color guy, Jerry Lawler's role, and just took over the play-by-play and did color. He was phenomenal. And Renee was able to kind of find her groove because she wasn't having a fight with Corey. There was no teaming up on Renee that Cole likes to do with Corey sometimes. I really, really loved the commentary tonight, and I don't mind if they keep these three together. Fuck Corey Graves. Let him go to SmackDown. I'm tired of him being on both shows anyway. Love Corey, but I don't want him on both shows anymore. I want a little bit of change. And maybe this was the beginning of that, because with Raw and SmackDown going to different networks, they're going to have to separate the commentary crews. I'm sure both networks want that. They want the shows to be different. And I think that may have been the step tonight because Vic deserves a shot. But are they going to be able to keep this up with this type of dynamic where you have two play-by-play guys that are trying to call the matches? I don't know if it's going to work, but it's fucking entertaining. It was captivating tonight to listen to this because I'm just like, oh my God, Michael Cole seems pissed right now. Is he pissed? I don't know. This is great. I really, really enjoyed it. Mark Parrish, I tend not to listen to commentary, to be honest. This time, so I'll take your word for it. I would go back and listen to it because it really was a lot of fun. Corey, Nigel, and Mauro or Vic would be the best team. I don't really need Corey. Nigel is such a better version of Corey anyway. I would rather just go with Nigel. I love him. Love him. All right. We get our first King of the Ring matchup of the night. Ricochet. Or no, excuse me. We get previews for next week's King of the Ring matches. with Ricochet and The Miz taking on Baron Corbin and McIntyre. These 4 competitors will lock up in singles competition next week in the first round of the King of the Ring. That will be continuing on next week. And we get this little tag match. And I got to say, for the type of tag match that it was, 2 big guys and 2 kind of small guys, I liked it. I also really like Corbin's wife beater shirt tonight. I dug it. I'm glad he took off the stupid corporate looking shirt or lumberjack shirt, whatever the fuck he's wearing, and he went with the cool ass little wife beater, the black wife beater. I really thought it was a cool little thing. Ricochet and The Miz getting the win. It wasn't a spectacular match, but it didn't need to be. It was a nice showcase for what we're going to see next week. Should be a lot of fun, especially because they're going to be very contrasting and a big juxtaposition from what we saw this week with the King of the Ring on Raw. And again, it's identity, and I really like that. We're not going to get into the Booker T thing because I simply don't care. I don't care. I barely listen because Booker T annoys me so much. Of course, we got the United States Championship match, Braun Strowman and AJ Styles, which really turns into nothing, a DQ, and of course then Seth Rollins repays the favor to Braun Strowman. They start teasing Braun maybe just attacking Seth now. They did a really good job of building the story throughout the night. You know what I mean? Like, is Braun, they gave us so many little teases that WWE likes to do, where Braun is just looking at this belt. It looked like he was going to potentially, go ahead and turn on Seth. We thought maybe the whole tag team championship thing was going to just blow apart, and that's what we were going to get. But no, we didn't. I thought it was a really good way of handling it, to be honest. Thought it was pretty damn cool. Warrior had to come off. Of course, if you want to see some more hats and shit, we got the hat change rule in effect. Every $3 we get the channel, we'll go ahead and change some hats and all that good stuff. Feel like supporting, please do so. If not, don't worry about it. Sit back, relax, tweet out the stream, and get as many people in here as humanly possible as we get popping and locking up in this place. Dave figured it out. Yeah. All right. Continuing on. I enjoyed everything that happened with those 2. I just think it was cool to see them going back and forth and giving that story throughout the course of the night. It was just well done. It's not something that we see all the time at WWE nowadays, so I'm really liking that. Once again, it's consistently the same way. And remember, they did this without Vince there tonight, reportedly. The Vince McMahon was simply not there, and Dunn, friggin' Triple H, and Paul Heyman, which is supposedly very, 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 very weird that Paul Heyman would be sitting in on that type of meeting, maybe hinting that Paul might have more power than we originally thought, which is a really good thing because, once again, Raw was very solid. You know what I mean? I like where they're going. It's not bugging me in the least. I'm really enjoying it. I am. Okie dokie. Samoa Joe and Cesaro. You see, what's great about when Raws get things right, when any televised wrestling shows get things right, you're going to find talking dumbasses like me equally talking about promos and matches, because you can have a great show and you can have the promos completely destroy the matches. They don't have to be the talking point. They don't have to be the focal point. However, you need the really good matches to step in and give us a bigger, wider net of caring so that everything can kind of mesh together. And we got our first really good one. Not that the earlier matches were bad at all, because Dolph and Roman was very good. But we got a different type of match out of Samoa Joe and Cesaro. Really do love the chemistry that these two have together. Long history with these two. And they put a stiff old school fucking wrestling match on tonight. They really did. They really, really did. They were so brutal to each other. It's so unfortunate, man. I like Cesaro so much. I'm not going to get on this big diatribe. Cesaro needs the push. Why does Cesaro get the push, man? He needs the push. I'm not going to get into that. It's just, he's a hard luck guy because he has all the physical tools. He can tell a story like no one else, but he's got nothing charismatic about him. And they tried so many times to reboot him and give him something different that he could do, but it's just not there, and fans only care so much about him. And as good as he is, he's not a Daniel Bryan. There's something about Daniel Bryan, the way he wrestles, and maybe it's because he's so undersized, and maybe it's because Cesaro is so prototypically chiseled and just looks like the average everyday wrestler. He's not going to get that same type of sympathy that, or empathy or love or admiration that someone like Daniel Bryan will get just because of the look. I don't know what it is, but that makes a little bit of sense to me at the very least. I don't know. It was just an interesting thing to me about, was we always go back to it. Every time we talk about Cesaro, you can't help but talk about how Cesaro's been wasted. And again, he loses a match tonight, but puts on the performance of the night. He and Samoa Joe, I think it's pretty safe to say, was match of the night. Pretty damn good match. But King of the Ring, I'm loving it. I still wish it was just 3 matches in one night and that was it. But that's me being selfish. That's the way I remember things. And maybe we're still going to get that. I'm not sure how this is going to go exactly, but still, I just like that it's back. It's one of my favorite things. I love the concept. As long as we're just not going to get the same generic king whoever spiel that we always get, and we'll start talking with a British accent or some shit. I don't care about all that. Please don't. I wanted to kill myself when if I have to hear anybody try to tell me that King Booker was a good gimmick, I swear to God, I will punt a baby. Punt a baby at least 17 meters. Just fucking hell. Anyway, we got the whole thing with the 24/7 championship. They went a different route this time. Drake Maverick trying to ambush Elias in the recording studio a few days ago. Then have Elias come out, fiddling with the guitar. I'm not sure what Elias was trying to do by saying he was on his farewell tour. I guess he's no longer going to play for the crowds. I thought he might be actually leaving wrestling for a second. I got very excited. My dick got hard like the Washington Monument, son. But no, alas, that was not the case. I don't know what's going on. But he didn't. I thought when he was doing that he was going to lose the 24/7 championship. He had all the tomfuckery with the guitar. R-Truth comes in. Elias takes the lie detector or the axe kick, whatever he calls that thing, and he still wins or gets out of there without losing the old 24/7 championship. So I don't know what's going on with Elias. I know he's in the King of the Ring tournament. I know he'll be wrestling tomorrow. It's just weird. Just weird booking with people that you keep hearing are leaving. We got it with the Revival as well. The Revival, Elias. There's a few others. It's just very, very strange. But PK, leave Booker alone. You shut your whole mouth. You shut your whole mouth. All right, so we get Rey Mysterio, which I really felt was going to be what it was. You know, it was going to be a situation where Rey was not going to go out unless, if this is his last storyline, which is possible, it was going to be putting over his son. Or getting his son shoehorned into the wrestling industry, which I don't know if it's going to work. The kid can't talk. We saw that tonight. Rey gave a promo, but it was okay. It's something that we've seen before, but still, I like that he was going to take off the mask. I wish he would have. His son came out and gave a very robotic promo. He's not ready. He's not ready. I don't know what they're going to do. I would have much rather have seen Rey just go to 205 Live or something, take on something else. I don't know. But I don't know how much I'm going to like this going forward. But, hey, at least it is a storyline. You know what I mean? It's at least a storyline. You know what I mean? Gore forever. Remember, Dave, everyone is leaving AEW because fuck you. That's right. That's right, because fuck you. It's fuck you. Get fucked, Marks. Get fucked, Smarks. Get fucked, everybody. New Day and Revival. You know, I was a little bit harsh, or maybe quick to the gun to give match of the night, because New Day and Revival, while maybe the match itself was nowhere near as good as Cesaro and Samoa Joe, the ending was spectacular. I love the Revival wearing snake boots given to them by Randy Orton. I like Randy Orton getting involved and hitting a sick fucking RKO. I love the, I guess, double team 3D shatter machine hybrid, whatever the fuck they want to call it, that they hit with Randy Orton. They have great chemistry, and it's because the Revival has some of the best timing I've ever seen in wrestling. You know what? It's just like their timing is fucking flawless. And while I do believe that a lot of the nuances that they do can get overexposed and a little bit overhyped sometimes. You can't take away from how good they are. Like, even a little. They're phenomenally good. And, you know, it was good to see that whole thing. Not kicking them out the door, or I love that they're still working. If they are going to be leaving, if they are disgruntled, you never fucking know anymore. They're good at working audiences. They are good at what they do. And they believe in old school wrestling, so they live their fucking character. And I like that too, because we don't see a lot of people like that, and they don't break it on social media either, which I think is a really good thing. But anyway, the New Day get the victory as, oh, there's the demonetization, as Randy Orton, you know, with the whole RKO. And then they go and they really start going to old school Randy at this point. We get to see the sadistic side of it. We get to see the sadistic side of Randy Orton again, and using the Revival as kind of the lackeys here. It worked to hold. I love when they do stuff like this. To hold someone's face and watch them watch someone they love get injured is fantastic. I love it. I love it. There's something sadistic deep down in my soul where that just gets me going. I just like to see it. It's a lot of fun, and they executed it flawlessly tonight. Flawlessly. All right, so we get Cole finally getting to Sasha Banks, and she gave a absolutely flippant interview, talked about her hair, and then when pushed by Cole, who did a good job of interviewing, by the way, really trying to push her a little bit, all she said was, "You're welcome," stood up, walked away. You know what? Less is more, and as we see, sometimes it's better to talk with your fist. It's some really harsh words than it is to talk to Michael Cole. We'll get to that in just a moment. Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose. Say what you want about the match. I'm still, Mandy Rose, to me, as much as I love her and as much as I look at her, she ain't ready. Sonya Deville does nothing for me. But still, that's a nitpick. The match was not bad. I love that we're getting women's tag team matches more and more. But for some reason, they just weren't doing it with Royce and what's her name? My favorite, not lay cool, weird fucking Aussie group. You know what I mean? I don't know where it was going. I'm not sure why they weren't defending. I don't know if one of them was injured. I have no friggin' idea. But Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss are defending all the time, and that is a really, really good thing. I'm really digging it. So hopefully that's going to continue, and we're going to get more challenges, more challengers, different people. I think they could bring people up from NXT UK. You know, I would love to see them shit themselves with a tag team of like Piper Niven and the alpha female. You know what I mean? Just like walking down the ring together and just fuck shit up. That would be incredible. And you could tell a story like that too. You could have those two. Now I'm just spitballing. I'm just spitballing a story right here. Send me a check, WWE. Just send me a check. So you have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross continue to get these wins, pile them up, continue their friendship, all that stuff. Then you have them just start open challenges and everything. And then one week, here comes Piper Niven and the alpha female, and they just wreck them. They wreck them. And they wreck them again. But it's non-title victories. It's disqualifications. They're torturing him in the back. And this is how you make the story interesting. Bliss doesn't know how to deal with shit like this, but something in what's going on with these two dominating, just disgustingly powerful women wakes up that crazy from Nikki Cross. And we could see Nikki Cross try to take it to these women in an extreme way and bring Alexa Bliss into this and show some of the things that we love about Nikki Cross, that unpredictability, that crazy psychotic nature. And we could see Alexa Bliss, who is so good at playing off other people in these situations, to just go places. And it could be very fun. I love matchups like that, and it could work really well if they want to go in that direction. Has nothing to do with anything. I'm a little bit stoned, and I'm just having really nice ideas tonight. That's really what's happening. All right, continuing on. And for those of you defending fucking Rose and what's her name, DeVille, go fuck yourselves. They're really bad. I'm sorry. The best thing about them is their name and just looking at Mandy Rose in general. Mandy Rose sucks shit. And Sonya Deville, I don't think I've ever seen her really do anything. She runs in, makes faces, tightens up her ponytail, knocks a bitch down, and gets out of the ring. That's about it. So I don't know. We get a first round King of the Ring match. Cedric Alexander and Sami Zayn. Really nice little match out of these two. Actually, it was just a showcase for Cedric. You know, we were all expecting a little bit of a longer match out of Sami Zayn and Cedric Alexander. But the reality is, after a little bit of offense by Sami, he got steamrolled. Clean, quick, no special setup to the lumbar check. Just a flat workman-like match from Cedric. You know, he got to hit his spots. It's like he was taking on a jobber almost. I don't know what's going on with Sami. I think he's on the way out. I really do. I think he might be on the way out. I'm not sure. I really don't. But I really love that they're working Cedric Alexander into the main roster. I love that they're taking a guy from 205. Now, granted, Cedric's a big cruiserweight. He really is. He's probably a legit 230, 225, maybe 215, 220. Maybe I'm going down a little bit. But he's a big cat, and he's all muscle. He's not tall, but he's thick everywhere. He's spring and muscle. So I like that they're trying to get him in there, and they're getting him in there with some bigger guys. And in this case, somebody who is just incredibly skilled in Sami Zayn, and it's working out really well. This is how you build people up who are coming into it, and I'm glad that he's getting somewhere, and I'm really enjoying where it's going. I can't wait to see how far he can go. He could be the dark horse in this whole King of the Ring tournament. It would not shock me to see Cedric Alexander win this tournament. It really wouldn't. He could make it happen. We'll see. We get the Street Profits. Now, we talked a little bit about this earlier. I'm going to just gloss over it one more time. Montez Ford is fantastic. I was critical of him when he was being compared to The Rock because I felt that he doesn't know how to hold back. Tonight, he changed it. Tonight, he really did. He absolutely changed that perception to me. He brought himself down and showed that he can control that intensity. He impressed me. Maybe it wasn't much, but the control in his delivery and not allowing Angelo Dawkins, who came off very lazy tonight, and not matching what Ford was able to bring. And that's a bad thing. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be the Jannetty. You know, I hate to do that to Marty Jannetty, who is an incredibly talented wrestler. You don't want to be the Jannetty. Don't be spaghetti. Don't be Jannetty. It's not good for you. You know, it's crazy. We'll see. I enjoyed it, though, and it was perfectly fine. I thought it was a really good segue. We get a little bit else going in with the backstage segment with Luke Gallows, you know, the club and all that, which I'm really loving. I just love everything that AJ's doing right now. He's really in control of this group, and AJ's killing it. He's killing it. But then we get Natalya selling her arm in the sling and all that stuff, talking about the emotional stuff, trying to get into, you know, the psychology of it and all that. And I'm feeling for Natty and the vulnerability. And then Sasha just blasts her. Absolutely blasts her. And they do a wonderful spot by jamming Natalya's arm in the drawer. And then, Natty, go to hell and tell your father I said hi. God damn, son. God damn. They are going edgier, and that was a Haman line. If I've ever heard a Haman line, that's a Haman line. Twat, Dave is ignoring us. He hates his fans and viewers confirm. Yes, I'm sorry that I don't read every fucking thing, you goddamn whining baby. Dave, leave Marty alone. Why? He did it to himself. Fuck all that. Sasha's going back to her NXT days. Savage as fuck heel. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm really excited about her and Becky Lynch because they did such good work together in NXT, and it never got matched anytime they were around each other on the main roster. I'm hoping that they're going to be those characters once again and do what they do. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be great. Terry, fake, how much more attention do you need? Damn, you're so needy. Goddamn right. Hey, guys, do me a favor. Do me a favor. If you haven't hit the like button yet and you're enjoying what you're seeing tonight, please hit that like button. Also, do me an even bigger favor. Put this somewhere. Take this stream, put it somewhere. Shine it up real nice and stick it wherever you talk about wrestling content. We're bringing ourselves back. We're going to bring the Copious community back to the forefront of the wrestling community, exactly where it belongs. And I need your help to do it. I don't need you just in here talking to me on this chat. I need you after the show, going in and commenting, telling me what you thought of tonight's show. Give me your ratings there. Even if you gave it here in this chat, continue the conversation. Help this video continue to do well. Put it in places. Get me in the communities again. It's what we need to do. You want to live copiousness? This is what we need. We need the army, and it starts with you. Buy the merch. Spread the message. Show the love. Copiousness forever, motherfuckers. Anyways, continuing on as we go into the main event, which is exactly where we started at the beginning of the night. I thought the tag team match, was actually pretty boring up until the end, and then we got a spectacular ending segment leading to this title change that is maligned. Some people like it, some people don't like it, and I'm not sure where I fall into it, aside from the fact that I think it gives so many options for them to tell stories, which seems to be the intent right now. I don't look at this as lazy writing. I don't look at this as something like, oh, they're just taking the belts. I think that the OC will regain those titles very quickly. I think this is not an ending for the OC. This is a beginning of a rivalry that's going to have multifaceted avenues that hopefully we're not going to see exactly coming. Braun is volatile. Braun has the ability to do whatever the fuck he wants, whatever the fuck he wants, and I think that's what makes this interesting. They don't have to do the regular strange bedfellows storyline. They could take this other places because of all the titles that are involved. Not only the titles that they have, but AJ's title as well. How are they going to even the odds? Do they need to even the odds? It's 3-on-2. Does another person come in? Do they bring in Ricochet? What are they going to do here? There's not a lot of need, but with the titles being where they are, AJ doesn't need to put his title on in this situation. AJ really doesn't need to get involved too much. Maybe this leads to a triple threat match. I could see something happening where maybe they don't have Seth and Braun lose the titles back immediately, and then at Clash, what they do is you have Seth and Braun open the show defending the tag team championships against Gallows and Anderson, where they lose those belts, and then in the main event, it's a triple threat for Seth Rollins Universal Championship. Braun Strowman, AJ Styles, and Seth Rollins. And if you want to get even sicker with it, do a 2 out of 3 falls in the first, because you had Braun Strowman have a United States Championship match tonight. It makes sense with a storyline. So you have AJ's title on the line in the first fall, and in the second fall, you have the Universal Championship on the line. And you could do all kinds of shit, and I love it. Fake, I don't really get Braun and Seth winning, honestly. I don't hate it, but I don't understand what the point of it is or where it's going. I think they can go this route. Gore, Seth wins the U.S. title. Seth wins. Oh, God, yeah, there you go. I would love something. It would be fucking sick. It would be so funny, but I would like I would like that going into that main event, Braun and Seth losing the titles, because then now they're at each other's throats. Braun wants to take Seth's title even more. There's a lot that they could do there. I love it. And I think it was a really good way to end the show. I think they're doing a really good job of continuing pushing everything. With football season coming up, this is exactly what they need. And where was by the way, let's, before we get into the Discord, if we are going to get any callers tonight, which no one's in waiting to call, but if you want to get in there, jump into the Discord. That's totally fine. We'll take some callers and we'll get out. Where was the 100% guaranteed NXT fucking announcement tonight? Did anyone see it? Was it announced? Before I get too crazy, I didn't see it announced. But Meltzer and all those jackfucks were 100% convinced that it was going down tonight and it was going to be a game-changing decision and all of this stuff, and Vince wasn't going to be involved because Vince is going to be taking over NXT and all of this stuff. Where was it? Where was it? I'm so fucking tired of the dirt sheets. Stop. Fucking stop. Wrestling Inc. is the only one that I'll even give some credibility to, but they got some of the worst fucking writers of articles I've ever seen. Mark Middleton is one of the worst article writers ever. But hey, they're better than everybody else. They're better than everybody else. And it's not even close. It's just, I'm so tired of it. Guaranteed 100%. Do you know what will happen? I didn't see it. Maybe I missed it. Who fucking knows? I don't know. Anyway, so there was the Raw review. I thought it was so fine. I thought it was a pretty damn good show. I'm going to give it a nice 7. I think a lot of shows are going to go into it as long as they don't do anything really awful. I wouldn't say a 7.5, but I feel like any more than 6 is a little bit too low. So we can give it a nice little, we can give it a smaller little range. We'll give it a 6.5 to a 7. That's where I think the show is. I don't think there was anything wrong with it. I think that they did a really good job of getting a lot of things pushed forward. They pushed a lot of storylines forward tonight. Once again, nothing stagnant. We didn't get any authority stuff. There's nothing to just derail the show completely. It's flowing. And as long as they keep flowing, the ratings will keep us showing. I rhyme. Okay, it looks like Fake Ass Twat is in waiting to call. Let's see how this is going to go. Fake, take us home, Daddy. What's going on? You fucker. You fuck. I don't need the opening to Independence Day with the clicks. You're not from fucking Darfur either. Why are you clicking at me like you're in a goddamn, oh, is that get him to the Greek African child fucking video? This is bullshit. I'm dead on Dave. I don't even take this goddamn shit. Fucking laugh. Who are you, Maui, Wowie, Yowie, Wowie? Fake ass twat. Always good to have you. Get out of here, you fuck. Good Lord. Thank you guys so much. I think that's going to do it. You get one weird phone call. You don't really need anything else than that. Hearing Fake giggle in my ear like a fucking weirdo is just too much as it is. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. We'll be live tomorrow with the SmackDown Live Copious review, and we'll be on Twitch at some point as well. Doing our thing. Thank you guys very much. Keep it copious, and remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Now, go comment in the comments section and spread the lure of copiousness all around the land. We'll see you next time. Good night and peace. Get out of here.